show you now how I made a word out of penitent that allowed me to get the winner. But before I do, I've got to go through the main word game rules. Now, these rules really hold the game together. This is what makes the game exciting, and this is the real fundamental base of the game. This is what makes it. The rules can't be cooked in any way. In other words, you can't short circuit these rules. They're fundamentally sound. They work ever so well. You can't sort of willy-nilly make a word up in a horse's name and think, well, these rules don't matter. You can't do that. You must follow the rules. Now I'll explain how I did the 310, the William Hill Lincoln Handicap, and then we'll go through the rules. The hexagram I drew up out of the dice was hexagram 30, which looks like that. The word I actually made out of penitent's name, you know, the word I made that got me the win was corpse, and you can see it on line 4. So I made corpse. My hexagram number was 30. The line was in the 4th place, and I made the word corpse. That was the word I had in my head when I placed this bet. It anagrammed, if you like, to corpse, and I was quite happy with it. Now, let's explain the rules of the game, and you'll see how I made this up. The line was in the 4th place. So what rule 1 deals with is you must insert either 3 or 4 letters into a horse's name to allow you to make a word or words. Line 4 means 4 letters. If it had been on line 3, I would have added 3 letters. That's an important part of this game. That's rule 1. To make a word out of a horse's name, you either add 3 or 4 letters, depending on where your moving line is. Hexagram 30, line 4, I had 4 letters. So I'll show you the basis of how I arrived at making corpse out of penitent's name. It was dead easy. I put C-O-R in front of the P, and then between the P and the E I added S. I'll underline the little letters that I put in, and look, there we are. I've made the word corpse. But like I said, the rules are very important, and that's only one of the rules. There are another 5 rules that are very important, but I'll show you them now, and you'll see that I followed these strict rules. Rule 2 is this: a minimum of 2 letters must be already present in a horse's name. So in penitent, I expected to get at least 2 letters that related to the word corpse that I made out of it. And of course I did, because if you look at penitent, it starts with P-E, and in the word corpse there is P and E. So I've complied with rule 2. Out of any horse's name, you must already have 2 letters relating to the proposed word that you intend to make. That's fairly straightforward. Rule 3. You must include, now this is a very important rule, this, and maybe a little bit tricky, but this game's, you know, it's an habitual game. Once you get to know it, it's like everything else, you just get used to it. Rule 3, you must include either the first or second letter of the horse's name in the word you are making. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. In the word penitent, okay, in the word penitent, I had to either have, in the word that I was making, corpse, I have to use the first or the second letter of the horse's name. And that relates to any word that you make out of a horse's name. You must use first or second letter of that horse's name to make your word. In penitent, it had worked out nicely for me because P was there and E was there. I only needed one of them. And in this instance, they're both there. Look, P and E. So I was quite happy with that. That's rule 3.